Is it hard to access affordable, healthy food? Then listen carefully. Darrell Addison, an African-American inventor, has patented a process for growing food on demand. He called it Torpedo Pot. Torpedo Pot is a fully automated flower pot that gives you control over your plant's environment. All you do is add soil, seeds, and plants to the flower pot and watch it grow. Yes, Torpedo Pot grows the rest. Visit www.torpedopot.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you once again for joining us for the show. We greatly appreciate it. Hope you had a good day. It's Tuesday, just getting the week, started off. And we have another great live stream, hopefully, that you would like today. Well, while we're waiting for everybody to get in, I was actually enjoying some of you guys' conversation that you was talking about here, and quite interesting. I will say so myself. So I'll give people a few more minutes to get in here. Let me go ahead on and share this on the X platform. I'll just let people kind of know that we are live. I don't know if some of you, maybe your kids are just starting spring break this week, or maybe they had it last week. But, all in all, it won't be long for these kids are out on summer vacation. And, you have to be figuring out what you want to do with them. But with that being said, let me go here. All right. So I'm looking at some of y'all comments and some people can't read a title very well. It seems, because one person was saying a comment like, basically, I'm indicting all Jamaicans. Which I'm not. You see the title says Jamaican immigrant means one person. Immigrants with an S means all. Immigrant means one. Okay. So make sure you read a little bit. Do you know how easily people are scammed these days? It's like so ridiculous how people are scammed, or people like fall for anything. Like, it's crazy how people will fall for things. Like, I think on Facebook and even YouTube, before they kind of made some changes, somebody could go and just type something to you, take your profile picture. Don't even look at if the name is matching right. Don't even say, let me click this and see what channel it's in. All you have to do is click the profile and you will see if that's who it is talking to you or not. Like, it's crazy. Or people take text messages and just assume it's from somewhere. Or how many people have been scammed out of their bank accounts by even certain text messages, calls, whatever, right? It's like, it's crazy that just a little due diligence, just a little bit, will prevent billions of dollars being lost from being scammed. So don't be that guy or that lady. Please double check, triple check. I learned something today that, anytime somebody all of a sudden sending you messages and they say, hey, reply, stop, that could be a scammer. Or this one lady said, she was a private, investigator. She says that sometimes they'll send you a message like that and you'll say stop just so they can find out your location. So the private investigator said, just block those numbers and don't respond to it. See, it's different. It's just different things you learn, right? Yes, Jane Smith, reading is fundamental. And unfortunately, a lot of Americans don't like to read. A lot of Americans do not like to read. They just want to point, click, and just go with it. And that's how they're scammed out of billions of dollars. It's how, even the people say, oh, AI this and AI that. Like, okay, they say AI can mimic voices. Yes, it could. But all you got to do is ask certain questions that only your family member on the other side supposedly would know. AI isn't that intelligent. They can't go in the memories that only they would know, only you would know. Come on. But people are easily, fooled. It's crazy. Or you can go double check. Like, let me go Google something. What is this? Deep fakes. People believe that mess, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. it's like, I know why the government do this though. Like they properly don't educate a society, because you do know a non-educated society is a easily controllable society. And a highly educated society is one that can't control. This is why they promote like the Sukianas and the Sexy Reds with degeneracy. Any kind of degeneracy they promote. But do you notice, like, when we're doing something great, when we're being very intelligent, or we're speaking well, when we're doing great things in the community, you notice they don't never want to promote that. Matter of fact, they talk down on that. When we have cultural pride, you notice how they talk down on it, but they never talk down on the degeneracy in the community too much. They really don't, except when they want to use it as a way to say, oh, like the quote unquote crime, right? I remember some years ago, and I still never seen that in my comment section ever again. I remember at one point in time, they used to always come on my channel talking about black on black crime, black on black crime. I still tell this story. It's funny. And I got tired of it. I said, you know what? You keep sending messages like that, I got something for you. I said, we're gonna do white on white crime month. I never forget that. It was years ago. I think this happened in 2015 actually, because I went actually reviewed some of the videos. And so about 30 days straight, I did nothing but white on white crime stories. I mean, some heinous stuff too. I didn't realize that the type of stuff they do to each other. I mean, bad stuff. And they left me alone after that. I never had them tell me nothing about black on black crime ever again. They left me completely alone with that. I remember I used to go through the FBI's crime statistics constantly and show how they was committing way more crimes than black people. But, you know, if you are a person who are learned enough to do that and show that on a mass scale, they usually gonna back off from you and leave you alone. So always understand the truth is on your side. When they talk about black people get all this welfare, then you break down the numbers. They don't want getting all the welfare. They don't want getting all. Trust me, if black people's getting all the welfare and food stamps, have been gone a long time ago. There's no programs in existence that solely benefit black Americans that they're going to keep, or that they can't finesse their way into it. Please. But anyway, yeah. The geek surgeon. Yeah, the geek surgeon. Okay. Yeah. You talking about the violence? Whoo! The violence of the males, man. Trust me, I understand why Becky be trying to get away from them. Doing that type of, oh boy. Okay, let's say if a dude gets cheated on in our community, he may lick his wounds, he may get mad, he may do whatever. Connor, he get cheated on. Oh, Connor gonna get rid of her. He gonna get rid of the dogs. He gonna get rid of the kids. And gonna get rid of himself because he got cheated on. Now, of course, I don't advocate no cheating. Of course not. But when Connor get pissed, it's a wrap. So, oh yeah. Now, as you see what's on the bottom of the screen down there, you know, where does the anti-black American sentiment, you know, from abroad comes from? Where does it come from? So let's go ahead on and cue this video up. Now, before we get to the video, just set the stage. This is a black American woman that called an Uber because she just got out of chemotherapy. This sister's fighting stage 4 cancer. So just to give you a backstory to this. So she called an Uber to come pick her up from the hospital after having a cancer treatment, okay? All right. Now, so that's, after we cue that up, let's go ahead on and get to it.
Keep it up, please keep it up.
I will.
Good, keep it up.
Respect is earned and deserved.
Yeah, and you haven't given none.
Go now, go back to
Respect is earned.
And when are you going to give some, sir? When?
I'm sick and tired of
I've been in this car for 15 minutes. When have you respected me as a passenger? When? I got in here, I asked you, can you turn your music down? You turned it up even more.
like this.
Nobody should have to ask you that.
You feel so entitled.
Yes, I feel entitled because I'm a passenger.
You're a passenger, but this is...
And this is
my
your
car.
job.
It's not my job.
It's your job.
It's my car.
Be
I can kick
professional.
you out of the car anytime I want to.
Guess what?
I don't work for
Then
anybody.
you do what you need to do.
I don't work for anybody.
Yes.
I work for myself.
Okay. Keep on,
You know,
keep
I
on,
can
keep
kick you
on.
out. It's my car.
Okay.
Please, she's not wise. Don't be quarreling with her, please. Just go. Go
You
like this.
black
Take
Americans, you feel so entitled. Over
the
what?
next right.
Lazy.
Ooh, yes, yep.
Go get some job. You like to live on welfare. My tax money is taking care of you equally if you don't know. Fool.
Keep it up. Yep.
If you're dealing with other persons, don't kick your ass. I need to kick you
I'm
too,
like this.
physically.
The first right.
My God. Crazy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a conversation about this particular video with this particular gentleman. He said a few key words here that we need to kind of slow walk in this particular video. The first thing he said was, she is entitled. You have to understand, most of the world view Americans in general, just in general, as very entitled. Most of the world view Americans in general as spoiled, very demanding. And they feel that way, especially when people, Americans come to their country, some of them, not all. They kind of throw their weight around because of that. But let me say something. The reason why they say we are entitled, because we have a certain way of living. You understand? And we expect to have certain amenities that we all worked for and toiled for. When this country was built by Black Americans, right, it wasn't where it's at today. We expect when we flip the light on, it's on. We don't want no load shedding. When we turn the water on, we expect clean water. When we go open up our natural gas stove, we expect the gas to be on, or if we got propane or whatever. We expect the roads to be right, not big potholes. We expect trash to be picked up off the side of the roads, not piled up. We expect no one to be on the beaches defecating, okay? We expect not to see men urinating wherever they want to urinate at. We expect that. I'm just letting y'all know this. We expect, certain types of food or just food in general. This is what we expect. We expect air conditioning because we're used to that here in the United States of America. We are used to, if we call the police, they do show up and try to do something what's right. We're used to not having to pay bribes to police because they trying to get a lick everywhere they go. So we're not used to that. And if we do that here, we'll go to jail. We're definitely not saying the police are perfect, but we don't have to worry about the police pulling us over and say, yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead and give me $50. Then I'll go ahead and let you go. We don't expect that. So when we go to any country throughout the world and they have a police pull you over and expecting you to give them some money, we're like, what? Because that's not what we are accustomed to. You understand what I'm saying? So when some people look at just Americans in general and all that we have, we throwing food around, we doing whatever. We got an obesity issue in our country. Why? Because we have so much abundance. That's really what it is. We don't live in scarcity. People that live in scarcity, you won't have an obesity problem. You just won't. So just in general, just for Americans. Now, let's get to Black Americans. Black Americans, everything that we have in this nation, we fought for. There was no benevolent white person that said, you know what? This is so bad what we're doing to Black people. Let's just end slavery. Let's end it. This is not right. All the buck breaking, this isn't right. The breeding farms, this isn't right. The cannibalism we're doing to them isn't right. Us keeping body parts of Black people that we're putting on, trees, fighting for body parts, that just isn't right. So maybe we just need to end that and just sign it and end it. No, if we, would have been like some people across the world, we'll still be in slavery in 2024. No, there was so many uprisings with slavery, okay? It's not that all brothers and sisters just took it. No, and Nat Turner was not the only one. He was one of many. This is why they had laws that no more than two black people can be around each other. Because when more than two black people get around each other, they thinking that we're plotting something. They had laws about that. Why? Because we was turning up. We didn't like stay in slavery all those years and just like, oh, okay, well, my life to be a slave. You understand what I'm saying? We was not even the majority like that. At one point in time, it was more of us here than them until they flooded America with all those European immigrants that came over here and fled Europe. They fled. All of the European you see, all of them fled. Europe was in squalor. We built something here, and all those Europeans that couldn't make it in Europe, they fled over here. They all fled. They couldn't even build America without the black man and woman. So we built this place up to where it's at. Then let's say, okay, after the Civil War, even we freed ourselves in the Civil War. Don't you let them people say, well, we freed y'all. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. We freed ourselves. Lincoln could not win the war without black people. It's just that simple. We got in the war. That's how it won. We the ones started Memorial Day in this country. It was us. Okay? We not only built America, we innovated America. We innovated the world on all the inventions that black Americans created. So even in the midst of that, we created beautiful things. We created world-changing inventions that is in every country throughout the world today. On top of all the black codes we went through and all the convict leasing we went through, which was slavery all over again, the sharecropping we went through. We built many towns, business districts, all this sort of thing, even under oppression. Madam C.J. Walker was the first millionaire in the United States. Not even a white woman was the first millionaire. A black woman was. How is it that black Americans are so lazy, and that's the lineage we come from? We didn't become lazy until after we got off the plantation. That's when we became lazy. Because we said, nah, you're going to pay me, bro. I need my bag. Oh, you don't want to work for free. You're lazy. But yet it's funny how the people that say we're lazy had to go get black people to do work because they were lazy and they couldn't build America on their own. But remember, in Europe, they lived in squalor. So how they going to come over here and build America? They didn't build it where they didn't build Europe where it was at. And to get Europe to where it's at, they had to take slaves to Europe to build that up. So how you look at the European nations today, all that was built up off of slavery out of the African continent. Everything they have came off of the back of black folk. So how is it that black Americans, sir, is so lazy? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And let's say if black Americans are lazy, let's go with that. Why is that an issue for you if black Americans are lazy? We live in a capitalist society. You know what? I love lazy people. I love them. I wish more people were lazy. You know why I like lazy people? Because there's one less person I got to compete with. So that they out of my way. That's easier money that I can get to because they not getting no money. I'll get it. That's why I love lazy people. I can care less how lazy you are. Be lazy. I'm cool with it. As long as you're not coming to my house doing anything, you ain't laid up on me. You're not eating my food. You're not riding in my car. You're not taking nothing from me. So do you, bruh. Be lazy. I don't know why it is black Americans are lazy thing. Like that's supposed to be some sort of diss. And that's the crazy part. You saying black Americans are lazy in a country that black Americans built. You wouldn't even be here, sir, if it wouldn't be for black Americans fighting for that immigration bill, which was our greatest mistake. Now we look in hindsight. Because we wouldn't be dealing with this problem if we would have got the Civil Rights Bill, Voting Rights Act, and then we would have fought for reparations. That's the bill. That's what we should have fought for, reparations, not that. But all in all, right, our hearts in the right place at the time. So you say Black Americans are lazy, but yet a Black American hired you, sir, to do a job for them. So how is it they're so lazy that they got enough resources to hire you to be their driver for the day? Now, let me give you a tip about Uber. Uber has different ones, right? Pay the money if you can. Pay the money for the Uber Black. Uber Black has professional drivers. You see the ID, you see everything, right? I don't do Uber regular, I do Uber Black, and I've had wonderful experiences with Uber Black drivers. They pick you up in better cars. They're actually professional. They licensed with the city and all that sort of thing. They work for driving companies. Do that. Don't waste your time with these regular people. I wouldn't even dare do a regular Uber like that in somebody's regular car. No, I won't do it. But speaking about Jamaica, last time I was in Philadelphia, I rode with a great Jamaican brother, good Jamaican brother. That's why the title says Jamaican Immigrant, not all Jamaicans. This brother was breaking down what's going on in Jamaica, right? This brother was telling me, and I've shared this before, that in Jamaica, they can't even use their own beaches because their government sold off all their beaches just about to the folks. So the folks is over there colonizing Jamaica, literally. Well, they tell them they can't go over their own beach and fish. And if they do go on the beach, they got to go way out. They got to go through all this jungle somewhere just to get to the beach to fish. They own beaches. The folks have got them like that. Also, just to continue, the Chinese own their port over there. They literally own it. So you got the folks and the Chinese gobbling it up. Oh, Jamaican food? The Jamaican brother told me that the Chinese are opening up a bunch of Jamaican restaurants. They hire Jamaicans to cook it, but the Chinese owning it. So you over here, sir, driving Uber and calling Black Americans lazy and entitled, but yet you not over there in your homeland trying to get your homeland out the clutches of them folks? You're not trying to get your homeland out the clutches of them folks and the Chinese. But you over here telling Black Americans that we're lazy. If anybody lazy, sir, it's you. You're lazy. You're lazy because you ran from your homeland. You sit up here and say, well, it's the government. You're supposed to put the government in check. It's more good people in Jamaica than it is bad. How is it that you letting the government sell your land, sell your property, sell all these different things, and people using Jamaica as some vacation spot? We know some of the stories how some of these sisters going over to Jamaica and having they experiences with these men in the bushes. We know about those stories, right? The men are running around prostituting themselves to all these American women, with not just the sisters, but to the folks and all that stuff too. We know that. All that going on in your homeland, and yet you gonna come over here, and you wouldn't be here if it wasn't meant for Black Americans, because them folks didn't want none of you here. Nobody outside of European. That's who they wanted to immigrate to this country. Not you. And instead of saying, you know what, man, I'm happy to be here, bro. I mean, I ain't dealing with none of that problem. I'm cool, man. I appreciate what y'all done, man. Like, shoot, I'm happy. That's all you got to, and that's all we want for you. We want you to be happy. We want you to be merry, and that's it. We don't want nothing from you. Just be a good brother, a good sister. Don't come here undermining anything. Don't get in politics and start talking about what Black Americans don't need. You should be like, hey, man, look, I'm on the team because, hey, I wouldn't be in this position. It wouldn't been for what they did, right? Like, show some doggone gratitude. You talking about your taxes? You wouldn't be paying no taxes to the United States. It wouldn't be for Black America. You talking about welfare? The people who get the welfare the most is the folks. That's where your taxes go to, them folks. The food stamps, it goes to them folks. It don't go to Black Americans like that. You only have a small subset of Black America that lives on that. It's not the majority. It's not. The majority of Black folks can't get that because they're the majority of Black folks who could maybe get it, can't because they're considered the working poor. So they make just enough not to qualify, but they still need help. Now, if I was in control of the food stamps, I would give it to people who are the working poor, and I would cut people off who don't work. I say because at least they're working and paying taxes into the system versus this one laying around. All that having baby stuff, oh, no, I cut all you off. Nope, get your behind to work. And if you make up to, let's say in this day and time, if you make up to 35, 40,000, I'll let you have food stamps. I'll let you have it, but you got to work to get it. You can't just lay up and just be collecting food stamps. Oh no. And so what if somebody get welfare? Why is it your business? In your country, they can't get welfare. And we all know that. See, let me tell y'all something. They don't get no kind of food stamp in their country. They don't have no food stamp. They don't have no welfare system. They don't have no WIC system. They don't have no Section 8 system. They don't have none of that stuff in their homeland. So why is he coming over here talking about welfare, lazy, entitled? You doggone right I'm entitled. Yeah, I see you, C. Lopez. I see you. I'll get to you. You doggone right I'm entitled. I'm not going to lower my standard of living for you. And you're not going to make me feel bad if I need to take a government program because my ancestors spilled blood in this country. Not yours. Now, what your ancestors did in Jamaica, sir, and how would I look like going to Jamaica being mad at Jamaicans? How? I don't get that. If Jamaicans made a way for me to come and I'm going over there disrespecting Jamaicans, that would be stupid. But only in the United States and then when Black Americans check that behavior, now all of a sudden we hateful or we're being xenophobic because we're checking that behavior. And the thing is, we're checking that behavior in love, actually. It's not no hate. It's actually in love. We recognize that, we got our distant cousins. We recognize that, but we're going to check y'all. The reason why delineation happened is because everybody wanted to not be underneath that one black umbrella, right? And have you noticed all of a sudden everybody want to talk about being black all of a sudden? I'm talking about underneath one umbrella. When you say, oh, I'm not black, I'm this, I'm not black, I'm that, it seems like, you're delineating yourself. And then when Black Americans start delineating, now it become a problem. You know why it became a problem? I just realized that. It became a problem. Delineation became a problem because when Black Americans delineated, the protection of Black America left. So when they get in trouble, we're not there to go stomp like we used to. So they're seeing different things happen. And then that goes back to C. Lopez's comment. You're sitting up here regurgitating white supremacist talking points on Black Americans, which is extremely offensive because at the end of the day, whether you realize it or not, sir, you're lazy too. They look at you the same way. They don't look at you as some better person. That's that Jedi mind trick they play on y'all. Oh, you so much better than them. And they laughing behind your back because you're sitting behind actually believe it. That's the funny part. They're laughing at you behind your back because it's like they actually believe that we think they're better and we like them more. They actually believe that. Do you know that's a running joke of white supremacists with y'all? Y'all really fail for that. Like, listen, in Black America, we have learned 99.9% of the time, if they talking, they lying. Everything they say is a lie until we verify it to be truth. We've learned that. We have believed them way more than you. We tried everything they said to do to make us be better or them actually like us. Oh, well, if you black people, they pull up their pants, people like you a lot more. And when they say people mean them, okay, black people pull up their pants. Guess what? They still treat you the same way. And black people get an education and stop going out there thugging. Okay, black people get education. They not thugging. Still don't like them. Well, black people just get a job and work hard and pull themselves up out their bootstraps. Okay, we worked hard. We pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and here they come sabotaging it. We black folks even thought, well, maybe if I just shuck and jive and bootlick and act like Tim Scott acts, maybe they'll like me. And they still don't like you. So we have learned that there's nothing we can do to make them like us like that. When a person don't like you, there's nothing you can do anyway, right? See, we've learned that lesson, at least us in this space. We've learned that lesson, right? So since we learned that lesson, y'all late to the party. Instead of when you come to this country, the first thing you should do is go to Black America, sit down at the table with Black Americans and say, hey, listen, I'm new here. Can you give me the game? I need it. And Black America will put you on game. We will put you on game completely. What you need to do, how you need to move, whatever. We'll do it. We don't got no hate for nobody. But when you come over to this country, which is a different environment than Jamaica or any black nation, you can't move the same, bruh. And then the worst thing some of you, some, not all, some of you do, is you get with the folks. That's like a setup for failure every time. Instead of getting with your distant cousins and getting some game. Then you don't study the history of the nation. If I'm going to move to a nation, I'm going to study the history of that nation. I'm going to study the culture. I'm going to study everything so I don't go in there blind. I don't say nothing out of place. I don't do whatever because I just don't want to offend people. That's kind of how I move. No matter, even if I visit a country, I'm studying it. I'm studying the little history a little bit. I'm studying the people, what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say. I do that because I just want to move a certain way. I don't want to have problems. And some of you get in politics and then you are doing things, saying things like Black Americans, they don't need reparations. Like, what are you talking about, bruh? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's that sort of thing that you should not even be a part of. When you come to America, in this country and the way it's going, I'm telling you, you want to be underneath the umbrella and protection of Black America. Ask Christian Obenseli and his family, which he's not here anymore, if he would have sat down and talked with Black America, I believe Christian Obenseli would have been alive today. And when that girl, what's that girl? Her last name, Clinty, that girl that he was dating, that stabbed him, she was abusing him, everything. If he would have sat down with Black Americans, he would have left that situation the first time that girl swung on him. We would have sat down and told him, hey, bruh, I understand you want to be with her and all that, but in this country, bruh, she's one phone call from getting you locked up for life, bruh. Like, bro, you taking a big risk fooling that female, especially as a black man in this country. She can do you whatever and lie, and you'll go up the river. See, when you talk to Black Americans, you can get schooled like that. Now you can say, look, we told him he's doing what he wants, but that's a reality. I don't care what any new black person today, I really would like to say another term, what these new black people say today, it's still like that in this country. One phone call from that female can ruin your life. Definitely. So now you're seeing the protection of Black America leave because Black Americans will say, okay, fine. And think about it. Don't get upset with Black Americans about that. For years, Black Americans would say, hey, let's all be together. We all Black. Let's all work together. Let's build. Let's this and that and the third. I'm just telling you where it came from. And after the constant rejection of supposedly our own people, right? We looked at all Black people as our people. And part of the reason why we support the immigration bill, we say, hey, some brothers and sisters come in from different Black nations, link up with us, we have more numbers, we have more camaraderie, it's cool. And when the constant rejection since even the 60s or so, and it's not I won't say the original Caribbeans, is not them. The original Caribbeans was, man, they were down. They were down. It's that new situation. It's something new actually with this because you study the history, Caribbean, Black people, Black Americans, we were like this. It was no problems. It was no problems at all. It's just something new they doing, especially with all this social media jargon at times. When you keep rejecting a people, eventually they say, okay, fine, cool. I'm gonna go over here now. You can't say, wait, come on back. I was just playing. You can't do that. Any of these groups now, have you noticed that Black people aren't coming to the rescue of nobody anymore? We used to come to the rescue of a lot of people. Something happened to any person that have some sort of melanin to them, we come to their rescue. Now today we've said, man, we cool. We gonna go over here and work on us. And everybody is feeling it. Everybody is angry with Black Americans for just even our silence. People are angry with Black Americans for our silence. Why? Because we hold the banner of truth and justice. And people know if Black Americans speak for you, then it will catapult your movement, what you're doing. Why do you think that those Palestine protesters was running up on Black people's events for? Talking about Palestine. Black Americans is not doing nothing in Palestine. Run up on Joe Biden and the Democrats about that. You know what I'm saying? But no, they run up to Black people events talking about free Palestine. Like, wait a minute, we haven't touched a Palestinian. But they're doing that to try to get Black people to speak on their cause. We're talking about in mass. There's some Black people speaking on it, but we're talking about in mass because they know, for instance, when we as Black Americans do something even for international purposes, like the Free South Africa movement that we had pushed in the United States during apartheid, when our entertainers were saying, I am not going to no Johannesburg. I'm not going to that place. And Black people is under apartheid. And we push boycott South Africa in this country because of the apartheid regime that kept Black people, just disenfranchised. And we pushed that movement more than ever. And that's why Nelson Mandela, when he became president, he said he wanted to thank Black America for everything that they said and how they fought for, them to shine the light on the atrocities of apartheid. We always have stood up and fought for everybody. And I can say in South Africa, we get a lot of respect too. I can say that because people, hella respect I've received in South Africa for sure. Well, Black American, our stock is good throughout the world because every Black nation I've ever been to, it's been nothing but respect. It's been nothing but respect. Trust me, we are respected. We are. All the videos are out there. See, also another thing, now let's get to the anti-Black American sentiment. Some people have an anti-Black American sentiment against us because they can see we are distant cousins, we family, right? But we took a stand. We didn't lay down. They can go look at all the videos from the 1960s They can look at the videos of Fred Hampton. Even though a lot of us lost our lives, a lot of us was jailed. Some of us had to, lead a nation, some of us. Some of us was on the tree. But they saw how we fought. And everything that we have, we got that by fighting. They seen the uprising in 1992 in the LA riots. Do you know in some of their countries, they police whipped them more than Rodney King was whipped? Let them tell you about how some of their police in their own homeland be beating them. They seen what we did, our people did in the LA uprising, right? Fighting back. Look at that SARS situation that was in Nigeria. Now they stood up against, the SARS and they had to end it. But what they say they got their inspiration from? They say they got it from us here in America. We have a culture in America. That's why I don't ever let nobody say, you don't have a culture, please. Our culture is fighting injustice. That's our culture. And we constantly have to fight injustice because evil's around. So they can look at something like the LA uprising. They can look at what happened during the Michael Brown. They can look at what happened with Trayvon Martin. They can look at what happened, all these different people and different movements that happened. Certain people that was untouchable, now all of a sudden they get charges. At one point in time in this country, they wasn't charging no police. If a police had did something to a black person, oh well. What happened even with George Floyd? That sparked the world. The whole world talked about George Floyd. Why? Because of what we were doing here. Where's Shaven today? In federal prison. At one point in time, he would have never been in no jail. District attorneys getting voted out, getting removed because of what we have done. We're literally shaking up when you hear them talk about, DEI and all that. Do you know where DEI comes from? Diversity, equity, inclusion. Do you know where it comes from? It's a response from corporations during the time of George Floyd to say, hey, they were scared. They was really scared because the corporations get scared when black people get like that. Because the thing is, black Americans don't have really a lot to lose when it gets to that point. So the corporation's like, we got to add more black people. We got to come up with programs. We got to have this representation. Oh, okay, well, let's create a diversity, equity, inclusion. Yeah. Let's start instituting that. That's where that comes from. We didn't ask for diversity, equity, inclusion programs. We didn't create that. That was white-owned corporations created DEI programs because of the response of what happened with black people having an uprising over George Floyd. And some of our distant cousins in other countries, not all, some, kind of resent us a little bit because we'll take a stand like that and some of them won't or refuse to. Some of them not willing, because trust me, a lot of them got nothing to lose way more than us. They're not willing to take it to the police in their nation. They're not willing to take it to the politicians that's stealing all kind of money from them. They're not willing to do that. They say, oh, well, it's bad. Their response is to be called Japa. That's a term out of Nigeria. Basically, people who flee. They call them Japa. So instead of fighting for Nigeria and getting Nigeria right, no, you want to be Japa. So we didn't become a Japa. We didn't leave America like that. We can leave if we want, but if we leave by choice, that's fine. But we didn't become Japa. So then you come into America being a Japa, right? And then you call yourself looking down on black Americans. When, remember why you became a Japa. You didn't do nothing to fight for your land, but then when the folks come in, the Chinese come in, the Lebanese come in, the East Indian come in, all the different people that's coming to your homeland, By the time you get back, or if you ever go back, because most of them don't want to go back, it won't be your land no more. It's going to be owned by the folks. It's going to be owned by the Russians. It's going to be owned by the Chinese, the Lebanese, the Saudis. Anybody you could think of is going to be owned. And then check this out. It's another thing. Now let's get to some of these issues in Ghana. The folks go over there and get land all day long. The Arabs get land. The Chinese get land. Everybody get land. And you never see no disputes, no fights, no nothing. Do you ever see land disputes when it comes to the folks with anybody? But how many times have we seen stories of Black Americans or Caribbeans or whoever, other Black people, go to certain places and it's a land dispute? Do you know, I don't know if you saw the video recently, and that brother actually was trying to, work with me on something, but I said, I don't know about that. The brother that had all the land and gone on the beach, and he recently went to jail and all that sort of thing. I forgot the brother's name on top of my head. But he was trying to work with me on that, but I say, because I just don't get into real estate like that. If I do real estate, it's going to be personal. I'm not involving my audience with real estate. I just don't do that. I'm not a real estate expert, and I just don't want to do that. But he's having all his problems, but a fellow Ghanaian, well, a Ghanaian, he's not Ghanaian, but a Ghanaian told him, well, maybe you want to bring an Arab in or a Chinese in or something like that so you won't have these problems. When that brother said that in that video, I was like, are you serious? So you mean to tell me even though over there, you got to bring in some non-Black person so you can get treated right? That's sad. That's sad. And yes, we don't look at the folks like some of them do either. I say some, not all. Y'all talking about some shucking. Listen, Jesse Lee Peterson and anybody else you could think of, man, look, they are nowhere near some of the shucking and jiving I've seen when them folks show up. Oh, man. It's sad to see, and it will anger you. It will anger you to see some of that. And you may pull up on them like, bro, you ain't got to do all that. Man, how much money you need, man? Don't. You hurt my heart doing that, bro. How much you need? Or some of them, I'll never forget that in Kenya, man. And I never forget that. I was in Kenya, and we stayed at the Kapinski Hotel, and it was me, I think it was Kellen, and my wife was there, African Tigers was there. And they had this young girl, she had to be about 21, 22. And you had this old, oh boy, just the folks, the males, he had looked like about 80 years old. I don't know, he could look 80, but he probably could have been 61. But he looked 80. And he pushing up on this young girl, and this young girl, and I'm like, what? And I'm looking at her. I'm looking at her like, what in the world is going on here? And then African Tiger said, yeah, some of them will do that. They'll be throwing themselves at those old nasty, Mzungus out here. And I'm like, oh. And so I just had to give her the good old, staring thing. I stared at her and him. I gave him that dirty look. And when both of them saw me, they got out that pool and left. Because I'm like, man, don't do that in front of me, bro. Yeah, you want to lower yourself with that. Now Dr. Umar, talk about the brothers, Dr. Umar need to go over there to some of them African countries and see what would go on with some of these females out there. He needs to go see that. He'll be more sickened if you see that. I'm telling you stuff I've seen. I got so many stories of things that I have seen. Another story I've seen. This was in South Africa. We was at a park, forgot the name of that park. We was close to downtown Johannesburg. Sharif was gonna fly the drone. And so we had the park, but I was watching this dude. So this dude, I guess he was homeless or whatever. And they had this group of white people pull up at the red light. This dude was just Like, and I'm like, look, I've seen homeless people ask for something, but I never seen them just like that. And I'm just like, I say, come on, brother. Come on, brother. Where's your pride? Where's your pride, brother? Where's your pride? Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh my God, don't do that. I was just like so embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I didn't do it, but I was embarrassed. You sitting up here and them folks looking at him like they just looking at him just. Yeah. And look, I will say this. Some of the African women, what they have said in numerous of countries, and I can say this, and maybe some African women are in the chat, they could verify this. Some of those men over there don't have no get up and go. They don't have no problem begging. The women are actually outshine a lot of them. They hustle. And then at the same time, they not, paying bills, a lot of them. But then they want those women to serve them like they paying bills. And then if the women have anything to say about, hey, man, you're going to help pay these bills. I'm working because the African women are working. And they want to beat on them because they said something to them. It's not right to be putting hands on any woman, period. It's not right. You don't put your hands on no woman. If you are failing as a man, then you need to step up as a man. Just that simple. You don't put your hands on no woman. But I've heard that in several African countries, several, not from different sisters from over there. And a lot of them sisters are them younger ones, they tired of it. That's why they don't mind. They say, shoot, matter of fact, I've been told that they don't mind getting with a Black American brother because they know Black American brothers, they, especially the ones that come over there, they got to get up and go. I've been told Black American brothers don't be, they very loving. They don't be putting hands on women like that. I'm not saying they ain't got no brothers here that do that now, but not saying that. But I'm just talking about some of the responses I've heard from African women that's been told to me. So, yeah, I don't like to see a man begging. Oh, I don't like to see a man begging. If anything, ask a man, hey, can you give me a job or something I do for you where I can get some money? I respect that a lot more than you begging another man for something. Stop injustice now. I talk about whatever topic I want to talk about. Period. It's my show. I don't want to see no man begging. I want to see every man doing well for himself in the continent. I don't want to see nobody be a jopper. I want people to stay in their homeland and build it up nice. I don't want to see whites, Asians, or anybody else. You forgot what channel this is? I'm going to talk about all the diaspora issues. Get Alex Nevermind out of here. I'll get him out of here myself because I can't stand somebody who don't even listen. Can't stand that. Okay, you got him out of here. Yeah, I'm like Dave East. I want to see everyone successful. Yeah, you're a great black shark. I've seen the videos on YouTube when the women are talking about that subject. Go look it up. There's plenty of African women that's talking about that subject matter about the men and what they're not doing. I want to see the brothers on the continent work hard, and they got plenty of brothers working hard. I'm not saying all the men are that way. Just like you got brothers here that's not doing what they're supposed to do, and you got brothers here that's standing on business. That's everywhere you go, right? But I want to see the brothers work hard. I want to see the brothers take care of the women, the children. I want to see the brothers owning property, businesses. I want to see that. I don't want to see nobody coming in your country and taking advantage of you. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see the folks owning your land. I don't want to see the Chinese. I don't want to see Lebanese, East Indians, and then being racist to you in your own homeland. Like, how many stories have we seen of that? No. I want to see y'all say, get yourself out of my country. you deported ASAP. We ain't gonna have no racism here. I'm gonna applaud that and support that. What I say is tough love. Remember, the key word is love. If I didn't have no love for you, I wouldn't talk about it. Well, look. You know, I listen. There's, you know, my experience. Even you talking about Haitians, right? I think one time I went to Florida, and I had a Haitian brother, good brother, talking to me how them folks were trying to play that game on him. He saw right through it. Like the folks was telling him, "Oh, you Haitians, you a lot better than Black Americans." He said he stopped that female right there and say, "No, I'm not. We all the same." I said, and that's how you tell them, brother. He said, "I know these people, man. I see how they treat not only Black Americans, they treat Haitians, man. They treat us all the same." I said, "Yeah." And any brother or sister that's talking like that, man, you family. But if you were getting on that, I ain't you, and I'm not this, I'm not that. Oh, well then go over there to the folks. But the thing is, when the folks put their hands on you, don't come back over here talking about, "Hey guys, you know, can I come to the Juneteenth celebration? You know, I want to support Juneteenth." Well, wasn't a year ago you was over here talking about now you want to come to Juneteenth and celebrate with us? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you know, it's getting about that time. I'm looking at it. I got to wrap this up. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the stream today. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. It's your first time. Click it. And remember, this is tough love. Remember, the key word is love. I'm not God, but I try to aspire to be like the Lord. I chastise those I love like the Lord chastised you because he loves you. If I didn't chastise you, that means I don't love you. I want to see all of us get along. I want to see all of us work together. We're stronger together than apart. But sometimes you got to have those difficult conversations. Sometimes you got to point some things out so things get better. It's kind of like when you are sick. If your doctor doesn't point out what's wrong, what you may be doing to contribute to your sickness, how are you going to fix it? You're not going to fix it unless your doctor point out what you're doing wrong. Because some things that we have going on, it's us that's causing us the problem. That's why sometimes the doctor may say, "Hey, you're doing this, you're doing that. You can't be doing this. This is going to happen to you." If the doctor don't say nothing to you and just say, "Well, here's some medication." No, I want the doctor to tell me what I'm doing wrong so I can fix it without the medication that don't do you nothing, to be honest with you. So we got to diagnose these problems and point this out. It's not hard to fix these problems. It's not hard. Trust me, it's not rocket science. It's just an attitude adjustment. That's it. And we just want to just engage in attitude adjustment. As you clearly see, I work with Black folks all over the world daily through this platform. So I love Black folks all over the world, because if I didn't, they wouldn't be here, right? So make sure you click that like button. It's very important. Click that like button. Share this with all your friends and family. Those of you who downloaded the African Diaspora News Channel app, thank you very much for that. If you haven't, you can get it in the Google Play and Apple App Store. You can get a monthly membership, quarterly membership, or year. Year is better. That way you can sit and forget it. Also, if you're at work and you want to get on AfricanDiasporaNews.org, it's all the same thing, all the same login with the Apple work there if you would like to do that. Those of you, once again, who are going to South Africa, I guess I'll be seeing y'all actually in another month or so. So can't wait to meet y'all in, as they say, sunny South Africa. So thank y'all for listening, and we'll definitely see you on the next stream. Make sure you go to the Phillip Scott podcast, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. We got our podcast for the night. So